G'day and welcome to the NBL1 Show for another week, your weekly wrap of everything happening right around the nation in these great competitions. My name's Joel Peterson, NBL1 Finals MVP. Beck Cole is alongside me again. Good to see you, Beck.
I'm glad to have you back, JP. We missed you last week.
Well, I missed you as well. I'm not sure I was missed out there, but I certainly missed being here with you. That is for sure. Now, we're a little bit different in terms of attire this week because it is Heritage Round in the NBL1. First of all, story behind your jersey.
So I've obviously moved out of home. My parents have all my old school jerseys. So this is what I had at home. And I thought of you while I was rummaging through. So this is my under-19 World Championship jersey that I played with and co-captained with your wife, Karen.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. That's a good little connection. I've gone for one of Kez's jerseys, so the Bendigo Braves, and this is Siebel level, so before NBL1 existed. So the number 6 before she switched over to the number 9, but always have to be repping the Bendigo Braves. So that's the story of mine. I think your story is a little bit better, but gee, Kez is getting a fair old run. She's going to be invoicing off the back of the opening minute of this show. Heritage Round is really cool. I mean, we see it across all competitions. We see old jerseys get rolled out, but it's a really important, I guess, nod to the history of a lot of these clubs that formed way back when in association basketball and have made their way through to NBL1, the role that they play within the community and sort of the people that have been along for the journey. It could, potentially be a really, really important week to reflect on all of that.
It really is. I think it's super important to pay respects to the clubs. Like you said, some of them have been around for so long, but not only the club, but the players that have come before. And what I really like is the word community, because it really is. That's where basketball started, and the fact that people have, moved up the ranks and basketball is where it is today. It's a super special occasion for so many people. Obviously, the players we get to represent with the jerseys that we wear, but so many people within the club, it will mean a lot to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you think about heritage in Australian basketball, you don't think far past the Gaze family. And of course, Mason's playing for the Melbourne Tigers. He spoke this week about what Heritage Round means to him.
Yeah, it's obviously we take it with great pride, having representing the names and paying respect to what they've done individually as players. They've had unbelievable success in their playing career. With the Gaze, Purchase, Bradkey, three of us boys now playing for the Melbourne Tigers. Yes, obviously we're still our individual players, individual athletes, but we take inspiration from what they were able to do, the learnings that they had from their coaches, and which happened to be Grandpa, and that's kind of trickles down to where Dad gets a lot of his inspiration, obviously, as well. So yes, we're super proud. We often reflect back on it, but at the same time, we're trying to create our own legacy to some extent and be successful in the NBL1 with our current generation.
You nailed it, mate. Do I have to say anything? There was nothing I had to vote.
So really cool to see Mason Gaze, of course, such a part of the history of the competition, the Gaze family, and no doubt our clubs will be doing some great things across the course of the weekend as part of Heritage Round. Now, you had a big weekend last weekend, double header with Waverley, and I feel like you're going to feature heavily throughout. I feel like the Falcons are going to feature heavily throughout our program today. But I need a bit of an explanation on a couple of plays that popped up on the socials and sort of the way you found yourself out of trouble over the course of the weekend. Let's roll the tape and get your take on, first of all, what happened? How did you find yourself in this position?
Well, I think there was, 5 seconds left. I had a trap, and I'm not going to lie, I just had to jack something up. But my follow-through was better than it probably is on a normal day. And as soon as it left my hand, I just knew that was going in. But the basketball gods were on my side with a little bit of skill.
I like it. So that's sort of midway through the third quarter, and then you thought, oh, well, that worked, so I'll do it again. Why not? This one's a little bit later in the game and a little bit further out.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie, this was very much, if it's not up, it's not in. But again, they were trapping me on the on-balls, low shot clock. This was pretty insane. It was flat as a tack, but look, it went in, and I'm not going to lie, yeah, that was worth it. This was warranted.
Any feedback from the coach after the first one to say maybe don't try that again and you just didn't listen, or he's pretty happy with how the first one worked out?
I had got nothing. That's our coach, Ilya. He doesn't really give you a whole lot. So look, if it goes in, I'm sure, shoot it again. But that if I was just doing that with one bounce down the court jacket, probably subbed on the bench.
Well, we had to have a bit of fun with it. We couldn't go past that right off the top of the show. Some big names have come back to our NBL1 clubs over the last couple of weeks, particularly in the women's competition. So 3 players who've been over in the WNBA, Annalie Maley, of course, Christy Wallace and Shyla Heal coming off training camp opportunities and now playing for Bankstown, for Perth and for Knox across the east, the west and the south. What a boon for the competition to have, these kind of names coming back.
Like you said, high pedigree players back in the NBL1. It's so good. Unfortunately, they didn't make the final roster for their prospective WNBA clubs, but all these 3 players have so much to bring to the table. We have Shyla Hill, who is such a crafty guard. Her dribble, her handles with that magic step back that she loves to the left-hand side, you can't guard it. Then Maley, she's known for her rebounding. Her hard work is what makes her so successful, and the amount of rebounds she's getting is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it is crazy. And then you came up against Christy Wallace at the weekend.
Sure did. It's so nice to see Wally back out there playing basketball. She shot an unbelievable clip, 10 from 12. So clearly her time off has done her wonders, but the point for all these girls to come back here, they're back with a vengeance, and they just are probably going to want to enjoy their basketball right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's great to have them back, and they just add to the depth of talent right across our competitions, which is absolutely fantastic to see. Time to jump into some highlights with Did You See That? Righto, it'd be remiss of us not to start with one of the biggest highlights across the course of the week. I just want to play it again. I just want to have a look at how you found yourself in this position. I don't really understand it. I don't think it's how it got drawn up. And the little step through is something I love. It's a bit of a running man, and the finish is nothing but net. I think it just bears repeating to, put this in the textbook for the kids out there and say this is one of the ways that you can shoot the 3-pointer.
Never give up. Like I said, if it's not up, it's not in those low clock situations.
I admire your resilience. Another player who thinks if it's not up, it's not in is Elijah Pepper. And now he's been shooting them from everywhere out west, including from the free throw line at the other end. So right on the free throw line, and he just heaves that one in for a 3/4 time buzzer beater.
Elijah Pepper, what can't you do when a shot's going up? Like you said, from the other end of the court, from the foul line. Again, is that another record? How far? We need to start measuring distances.
Yeah, it was an absolute bomb, that is for sure, from Elijah Pepper. One of your teammates, Katie Shumate, had a very nice little ankle breaker across the course of the weekend. This was all kinds of crafty.
She's a crafty guard. She's also super athletic, but loves a spin move. She's so good at it. Broke her ankles there. Then what a Euro step. I was going off. That was a sweet, slick move.
Who had the better highlight? Was it you or was it Katie?
I had 2, so do I say me? But I don't know if she had 2 moves in one go. Nah, Katie, my teammate, she's got it.
All right, I like it. John Kutch-Match is a 7'4" player who's doing some really good things for the COE, and he is putting on together all kinds of highlights at the moment. I mean, there is so much talent here in terms of his ability to get upstairs, Beck, but also to protect the rim and play defence. He looks like a real talent.
He really is, and I can't wait. He is, again, a future that we're going to see. But what I love is he has such good hands catching those passes from the guards. Great touch around the rim, super finesse. But at the moment, like you said, I think we're all going to be getting invitations to his block party because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think so. Part of the Perth Wildcats Academy in the last couple of years, and Huntley has to leave the ground to get up on some of those dunks. So, I mean, what a name to watch. We know that the Aussies have had some fun in terms of the big men in the last little while. Speaking of block parties, Mia Hyde has been doing some really nice work on that end of the floor. We'd love to have a couple of defensive highlights in here, that's for sure.
We do. Well, what I love is she had that mismatch. She had a guard on her, but she stayed straight up, didn't foul, and then just swatted her at the complete right time. It was impressive.
Yeah, good recovery. And then the sign goes sort of reeling back as well. And then thought, no, I'm not finished there. I'll have another go here and chase down the 3-pointer, get a hand on that, time expiring. That's a really nice little effort there.
That's impressive, and that's what you want from a big girl who can defend 1 through 5, knowing you have someone like that on your team. Again, invitations from her, I'm sure, are coming through for these block parties.
Absolutely. There was no block party present at Waverley, though, because there was no blocking of shots like this. I just have to come back to it. I've got to have some fun with it. The running sideline out of bounds. There's 7 minutes left on the clock, and you just thought, yeah, I'll just chuck this one up. And
I'm not going to lie, I'm getting a lot of airtime today. Thank you so much, guys. But this warrants it. This shot warrants it.
Yeah, you've got to take the good when you get it. So that is some very good stuff from you there, Beck Cole.
Thank you, JP.
We had to have a bit of fun with it. We had to have a bit of fun with it. So a little bit of imprimatur there. If you can put up a few more like that, we'll keep coming back to them here on the NBL1 Show. We've got a special segment this week, a new segment here on this show. Of course, we have Do You See That every week. We've got the Scout, which we'll get to shortly. This week, it's Dunk You See That. Dunk You See That. Exactly. I don't know. Hopefully you get the joke, because this is a montage of dunks. That is not exactly a surprise. Let's get into them. Caden Archie had himself a weekend. He was doing absolutely whatever he wanted on the show court up there at Bendigo for Mount Gambier. The breakaway, and then did someone leave the door open? Because it is windy in here. He throws that one down. That's a nice start to a weekend, Beck. That's a very handy little dunk.
It really is. And what I love is that he stole the ball and then just had a gaze around him. Oh, who's on me? Oh, no, I can slow up. What dunk do I want to do? What options do I have in my bag? And that windmill, beautiful.
So the windmill from Caden Archie, and you think, well, how are you going to top a windmill jam? Well, you're just going to do it like this and chuck it off the backboard to yourself. So the breakaway, all in one weekend. Thank you very much. Caden Archie, have yourself a weekend, my man. That's pretty spectacular.
Again, off another steal. And then that is just super impressive. He is in his bag and he's definitely putting on a masterclass that weekend. 2 of those jams.
Lat Main signed a new contract in the NBL1 with the Perth Wildcats in recent weeks. He's plying his trade in the NBL1 Central at the moment. He's off a steal as well and throws down that filthy little hammer.
I feel like he made that look so easy.
Yeah.
Look how high he got up. That was almost my favourite jam of the weekend.
And I reckon if you think of Lat Main, you think of, shooting, defence, that kind of thing. He's like, no, I've got more strings to my bow than that. That's a nice little sign for Wildcats fans.
It sure is. If he's putting on highlights like that, they're going to have a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's head up to the NBL1 North. Nevada Higgins for the Gold Coast Rollers. He had a nice little jam as well to round out our segment. So they're down in this game. There's a minute left. Why not have a little bit of fun with it? Coast to coast and bang! On your head.
What I loved is he did a cheeky onside right there, created space, and then on body too, and he let him know. That was a nice move.
Yep, absolutely love that. So very nice stuff from Nevada Higgins, and I think that's a dunk you see that. We might have to reinstitute this segment at some point. What do you think?
That is, I do. I think we should 100% see dunk see that. Okay. But then we need something for the ladies.
We'll come up with something. Don't worry. We'll get the R&D department onto something in the next couple of weeks. Time to look across the competition and see who's catching our eye. Let's get into the Scout. A name we've spoken about in these parts in recent weeks is Sitaya Fagen, talented 19-year-old with the COE who's just been named in the GEMS team. She's doing some really nice thing, had some stupendous amount of Division 1 college offers as well. Putting up really big numbers in Beck. She looks a real talent to watch in the future.
She really is. Like you just said, the future of the women's basketball game here in Australia. She's been absolutely dominating for the COE. And again, she's a kid, but she's playing against women and she's producing goods. She's had 3 games with 30-plus points and 10-plus rebounds, another 3 games with 25-plus points. And also, not only that, but she's a menace on the defensive end with multiple games with 3 steals. But what I love is she takes what the defense gives her, and she has a 3-ball. She can attack the rim, but then she has post moves as well as fadeaways and different finishes. I'm like, what can't you do?
Yeah. That's a long laundry list. That's a nice little bag of tools that she's working with. So she's going to be such an exciting talent to watch in the years to come, and hopefully for many years to come for all Australian basketball fans.
She will. I just can't wait to see her career unfold. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. There's big things ahead for Sitaya Fagen. A name I wanted to talk about out west is from Joondalup, Ethan Elliott, who's just signed a college deal with Northern Kentucky. So he's putting up some really nice numbers out there for the Wolves this season. So 25-3, 20-year-old. He's got big things ahead of him, but for a team that's 7-4 on the season so far, he can shoot it from outside and clearly has, a really exciting future in the next little while with college opportunities and that kind of thing coming.
He really does. He's producing the goods on the floor at NBL level. What a great platform to help prepare him for that college experience. And then he's a hard worker. He's an Aussie. He's so skillful. He's great in transition as well. So I think he'll make a really good ease in transition into that college game.
Yeah, very exciting for Ethan Elliott and the Joondalup Wolves doing some good things out in the West as well. We've had plenty of highlights already on the show. Time for some more. Here's our top plays of the week, presented by Amy.
Inbound pass, nice touch. Bush! Holy moly! What a finish!
When you are basically the big down low as well, so that's a really good sign there for the Wolves.
It is good little cross-court pass there from Sharp. Finds Eric Strip in the corner and...
She loves it.
This is incredible.
She's the queen of celebrations as well. Down the other end though to answer, but...
That leads to all the highlights we do get a lucky chance to watch. Just 1 second left, Gorman. That's a good-looking shot. It's in! Oh, my goodness, Steph Gorman, and that is why.
Finds Forbes. He's been good. And Keck. The ball on his head. Forbes.
3 seconds on the clock. There is enough time for a Spectres shot here. Gandolfo. Gandolfo! Jack Gandolfo hits the runner from mid-court to send the Spectres into half-time.
Milkman, dialed in, can't get it to go.
Quickly back the other way. Oh!
And Charlie Bogarts, eat your heart out. Nevada Higgins caught a body.
Absolutely not. Meanwhile, Richards now. Oh, throws one down. If Jacob can throw one down, Max Richards can throw one down as well too.
So heaps to like in our top 5 plays of the week, thanks to Amy. The Manly Seagulls we've been highlighting every week, pretty much a team that's finding a bit of fun and a bit of levity on the social media. Manly Seagulls have been finding the fun in basketball. Let's take a look at what they've been up to.
I'm here with Alex Tui. Who is the best player you've ever played against?
Best player I ever played against? Probably Dyson Daniels. I remember I was playing against him when I was like 14 and he was 17. He was the craziest athlete I've ever seen.
I like it. You've got to be able to have some fun, Beck. They're clearly having fun at Manly. I'm not sure about the bruise. That didn't look too much fun. The rest of it, though, is pretty good.
I love this. This is what it's about, having fun, getting on the socials, letting the fans get to know all the players that we have in this league. And I love it. It's so funny.
Yep. Keep it up. We'll feature it every week here on the NBL1 Show. That's all we've got time for today, Beck. As always, thanks for your company. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, JP.
Great to see you. Beck Cole with you here on the NBL1 Show. Thanks for your company. Enjoy your KO Game of the Week.